Hi folks, Toad here with Visordown.com, and we are in really sunny, nice Northamptonshire today, and we are having a little play on Husqvarna's 701 Supermoto, which is very similar to KTM's 701 or 690cc Supermoto that they've got, but the Husqvarna range sets itself apart from KTM, although they are kind of under the same umbrella. By the Husqvarnas are supposed to be a little bit more of a premium product than the KTM ones. So, first and foremost, this is £8,799, which is quite a lot of money, but for that you are probably getting more smiles per mile than just about anything else on the road. These things are a hell of a lot of fun. With that said, the price being as it is, you can pick them up for around about 150 quid on a PCP deal if you're willing to lay down a fairly big deposit. But yeah, if you're looking for a second bike, this is a very good choice. I'm going to start off by just having a look at the engine. So we've got the 692cc single cylinder thumper, which we've seen for a while now, seen it in the 690 Duke. It's also powering the 701 Svartpilen Husqvarna, and it's a very revvy engine. It doesn't feel like a single, especially when you're on it. It kind of buzzes its way up to the red line really quickly. So you think single cylinder 700cc, you think it's going to be some sort of big dirty thumper, but it's definitely not. It is a really rev happy engine. In fact, it gives out maximum power, which is around about 75 horsepower at about 8,000 RPM, so it's quite peaky as well. You do get quite a broad spread of torque. You've got about 71 Newton meters from fairly low down, so I'd say probably somewhere between 5 and 7,000 RPM is where peak torque comes in. But it's a very tractable unit. It's not got loads of character to it. It feels not agricultural, but it doesn't seem to have much depth to it. It's just a really revvy little motor that just wants to constantly be in that little sweet spot, and if you're anywhere outside of that, it's just going to chug and it's going to bog down. It's not going to be a pleasant experience for you or the bike. So as you probably guessed, because this is coming from the same stable as KTM, they are WP units front and rear, which we were out testing WP suspension the other week. They've got their Pro component range. This isn't the Pro component range, but to be honest with you, it's still more than up to the job. It's very plush, even on standard settings, which is probably set up for somebody a little bit taller and slightly heavier than myself. It's still a decent setup. I've softened up the rebound on the front. I haven't touched the rear because I didn't feel I needed to, but I've made the front end a little bit softer and a little bit more compliant, and it's a much nicer experience now. I don't think I'm probably sat in the right place on the bike either. I think most of the time on a Supermoto you kind of sat up here, but I'm popping my cherry. It's the first time I've ever ridden one, so I'm just sort of riding it as a normal bike and just trying to get a feel for the thing. So weighing in at a featherweight 145 kilograms, I think this thing is. It is supremely nimble. It's like a little gnat on the road that you just kind of have to swap from one side to the other with the back of your hand. It's wickedly light. It's wickedly good fun, and with that lightness comes this kind of front wheel lift that you get. It's really eager to lift the front over any little undulation in the road. If you're in that sweet spot of the rev range and you're on a decent bit of the throttle, it will just lift up the front wheel, which yeah, that's great if you're a new rider and you're not experienced at the front end lifting, a bit like me. That is going to put the willies up you quite a bit. It's a lot of fun though. Once you get your head around it, and once you know that it's not going to just immediately flip you over the back of the bike, you can kind of control the wheelie a little bit better. If one thing I'd say, the throttle's a little bit snatchy, so it makes that a little bit harder. It's not a bike you're going to carry huge amounts of lean on the road anyway. I know Supermoto riders can get their knee down on these things quite easily, but this is more just about bollocking down a straight as fast as you can, carrying too much corner speed, and on the exit giving it some gas to try and see if you can get the back end to step out, which it will do, especially on road surfaces like this. I don't know how to say this really. It hasn't got any. It's got switchable ABS, it's got a neutral light, an indicator, and that's about it. You don't even get a rev counter. It's just got speed, average speed, and a couple of trips. That's it. It's a Supermoto. That's all you need. If you want something more, get yourself a Hypermotard. I love the fact that it is just solely about going out and having fun. There is nothing else to it. It's not particularly comfortable. The seat's all right. It's fucking huge, but it's not overly padded. This is a bike that will make you want to go out and just spend an hour or a couple of hours on some roads like we've been riding today, just pissing about and having an absolute lark. I love the styling. I remember when they released the concept idea of this bike about, was it 5 or 6 years ago? And I remember thinking, shit, that looks really good. If it comes out looking like that at production, I'm going to be a very happy man. And it is, pretty much the same. I love the fact that the bodywork and the seat kind of all meld into one bit. And the colour scheme, I think it looks ace. I don't care that it's eye-catching and bright. This is not a bike for a shy, retiring wallflower. If you're buying one of these, you know that people are going to be looking at you, and you really don't give a monkeys. Yeah, I mean, practicality, it's not high on the list. This isn't going to be a bike that you buy as a serious first bike for commuting or schlepping up and down the motorway. And it's got a tiny fuel tank. I think I've done about 40 miles on it, and to be fair, those have been 40 miles of absolutely hooning it and trying to pull wheelies everywhere, which I know, before you say it, I'm shit at them. But yeah, I've got the fuel light on already, and there's no fuel gauge because there's no equipment, so I don't know how much is in the tank. All I know is I've got a little red light telling me I need to get to a fuel station very, very soon. Yes, it is a lot of money, but yes, it is such a huge amount of fun. And if you've got that space in your garage where you don't need the bike to run to work on, or you don't need the bike to go touring on, and you want something that isn't going to lose your license because you're doing over 140 on the motorway, you can have just as much fun on this, on a twisty B road, as you can on a super bike all day long. Absolutely mega. Go get yourself a test ride.